Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press morning podcast for January 31, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, in Cuba, the U.S. has imposed sanctions on the island nation, but the Cuban people are showing remarkable resilience. Despite long lines for gasoline and other challenges, they remain defiant and determined to weather the storm. As one retired pilot said, "If we don't have fuel, we'll ride bicycles. Our wine is bitter, but it's our wine. We don't want anyone telling us how to drink it." In international news, China has lifted sanctions on several British MPs and peers who were vocal critics of the country's human rights record. This move comes after a meeting between UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Chinese President Xi Jinping, where they discussed trade, security, and human rights. While some see this as a positive step towards improving relations, others remain skeptical about China's intentions. Closer to home, the U.S. Senate has passed a funding bill that will keep most of the federal government funded through September, while providing a 2-week extension for the Department of Homeland Security. This move allows for further negotiations on key provisions, including reforms to the Homeland Security Bill, which Democrats have vowed to prioritize over the next 2 weeks. The incident that sparked this debate was the recent shooting death of Alex Pretty, an ICU nurse, in Minneapolis, which has led to widespread outrage and calls for greater accountability and transparency within federal law enforcement agencies. These are the top stories we're following today. We'll continue to provide updates as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter. And then she'll know it's right now. Good morning from our newsroom. Firstly, in the realm of economics and government appointments, President Trump has nominated Brett Matsumoto to lead the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This move aims to restore confidence in the agency following the president's criticism of its handling of jobs reports. In international news, Iran is grappling with widespread protests sparked by economic hardship and government corruption. The situation has taken a dire turn, with hundreds reported dead and thousands arrested, as security forces use brutal force against protesters. Despite this, protesters are calling for international intervention, and the global community is condemning the Iranian government's actions. Additionally, we're seeing developments in Italy following a significant landslide in Sicily, triggered by heavy rains from a cyclone, which has forced the evacuation of over 1,000 people. The Middle East is also witnessing potential steps towards stability with a ceasefire and phased integration deal between Syria and Kurdish-led forces, though challenges to lasting peace remain. Lastly, the European Union is considering labeling Iran's paramilitary guard as a terror group, mirroring U.S. policy, which could have profound implications for international relations and regional security. These stories highlight the complexity and interconnectedness of global events. We will continue to monitor these developments and provide updates and analysis as more information becomes available. This is Barbara Waters reporting. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, in the world of commodities, copper prices are surging due to increased demand from tech giants for AI build-out. The metal's importance in the global economy has never been more pronounced, with some experts warning that the rally may be unsustainable, while others believe that the fundamentals are in place to support continued growth. In other news, President Trump's nomination of Kevin Warsh as the next chairman of the Federal Reserve has sent shockwaves through the financial markets. Warsh's hawkish views on inflation and his advocacy for higher interest rates have sparked concerns about the potential impact on monetary policy. And finally, in India, SEBI has cleared 7 IPOs, paving the way for these companies to go public. The list includes HD Fire Protect, Extranet Technologies, and Parajat Industries, among others. This development is a positive sign for the Indian economy, indicating growing interest in the country's capital markets and providing new opportunities for investors. We'll be keeping a close eye on these stories and providing updates throughout the day. So, now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, NASA is facing a crucial decision regarding a Mars telecommunications orbiter. The agency must decide whether to include scientific instruments on this mission, which could greatly enhance our understanding of Mars and its potential for supporting life. This decision has significant implications for the future of Mars exploration, with commercial space companies like Lockheed Martin, Rocket Lab, Blue Origin, and SpaceX vying for a chance to contribute. In other news, we reported on the importance of establishing reliable communication infrastructure on Mars, as emphasized by Rocket Lab's CEO, Pete Beck. This infrastructure is essential for any future human exploration of the planet. Lastly, we touched on the potential consequences of including scientific instruments on the Mars telecommunications orbiter. While some argue that it can maximize science and explore the potential of rapidly developed, low-cost experiments, others believe it could complicate the procurement process and delay funding. We'll continue to follow these developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. We're summarizing the top stories from our recent coverage. First, in college sports, we previewed the upcoming matchup between two top-ranked teams, highlighting key players and strategies that could impact the game's outcome. Second, the NFL is exploring ways to improve player safety, including using video review for non-calls on penalties like face mask grabbing and hip drop tackles. The league also reported a decrease in major knee injuries, but an increase in concussions on kickoffs, prompting further examination of the kickoff rule and potential changes to reduce head injuries. Lastly, we touched on the ongoing efforts to enhance player safety across various sports, emphasizing the importance of collaboration between leagues, players, coaches, and medical professionals to create a safer environment for all athletes. These stories and more can be found on our website. Stay informed with the latest news and updates from the world of sports with the AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curel.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we've been following the crisis in Minnesota, where a recent immigration and customs enforcement operation has sparked tensions between local and federal authorities. We've reported on the growing concerns over the impact on families and communities, and the need for transparency and cooperation between law enforcement agencies. In related news, Lady Gaga has spoken out about the plight of families affected by ICE operations, urging compassion and empathy in our approach to immigration policy. Her heartfelt plea is a timely reminder that behind every statistic and headline, there are real people with stories, struggles, and hopes. As we navigate these complex issues, we're reminded of the wisdom found in small towns and rural America, where community and kindness often know no borders. We'll continue to bring you updates on these stories and explore the ways in which we can build a more just and compassionate society for all. I'm Charles, wishing you a thoughtful and reflective day. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. We've got a lot to cover today, so let's dive right in. First off, we're still reeling from the loss of comedy legend Catherine O'Hara, who passed away leaving behind an incredible body of work that will continue to inspire and delight audiences for generations to come. From her iconic roles in Beetlejuice and Home Alone, to her unforgettable performance as Moira Rose on Schitt's Creek, Catherine O'Hara's talent, generosity, and kindness have left a lasting impact on the entertainment industry. In other news, a powerful benefit concert took place in Minneapolis, organized by Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine. The concert of solidarity resistance to defend Minnesota brought together musicians and protesters to raise money for the families of Renee Good and Alex Pretty, who were fatally shot by ICE agents. And what a surprise! Bruce Springsteen made a special guest appearance, debuting his anti-ICE song Streets of Minneapolis to a cheering crowd. It was a call to action, with a clear message: resistance against fascism is more important than ever. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Atta Nature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we explored the remarkable adaptability of wildlife in two separate instances. In one story, a coyote named Floyd made headlines by swimming to Alcatraz Island, highlighting the resilience and survival instincts of these creatures as they seek new territories amidst increasing human presence in their natural habitats. Meanwhile, in another part of the world, king cobras were found adapting to urban environments, showcasing their ability to thrive in unexpected places. Secondly, we delved into an extraordinary tale of a coyote's presence on Alcatraz Island, sparking conversations about coexistence and wildlife conservation. Experts weighed in on the potential risks and benefits of Floyd's presence, emphasizing the need for humane management strategies and minimizing human-coyote conflicts. Lastly, we took a brief detour to discuss significant roadworks happening in County Wicklow Island, where an 8-kilometer stretch of the N1 is undergoing landscaping works, including tree removal. While road closures can be frustrating, it's heartening to see measures being taken to protect the unique woodland habitat and wildlife in the area, demonstrating a balance between human needs and environmental protection. These stories remind us of the intricate relationships between humans, wildlife, and their environments. As we navigate these complex situations, it's vital to adopt fair, balanced, and informed approaches that prioritize both human safety and environmental stewardship. Stay curious, stay informed, and let's work together to build a better future for our planet. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Atanacha for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.